Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Pastor JC coming at you live on this beautiful Monday morning. We weathered the storm over the weekend and we made it through, and today is absolutely gorgeous with blue skies, cool weather. You just can't ask for more than that. It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. You know, as we approach Christmas, this is the week before Christmas. This time next week will be Christmas Day. And we approach Christmas with such an expectancy, a hope, a joy. We rejoice in the reason for this season. And I got to thinking about that expectancy. And, you know, as a child, when we got to the Christmas season, there was always an air of expectancy of what we were going to get on Christmas Day, what was going to be wrapped underneath of the tree on Christmas Day. And I remember we would get the Sears and JCPenney's wish book catalogs, and us kids would go through them and mark the things we want. Doesn't mean that we got everything that we marked, but my parents always made sure we had things under the Christmas tree and we were provided for. But I remember the excitement of Christmas is coming. And I understood, you know, the whole Santa Claus thing. I understood the real reason for the season, but just the days seemed so magical and so mysterious. It was Christmas Day, and it was a time to be with family. It was a time to receive presents and give presents and all of that. And I got to thinking about the expectancy that must have been in the hearts and lives of Mary and Joseph on that first Christmas Day, because Mary knew who Jesus was. She had pondered those things in her heart for months as she was carrying him in her womb. Joseph knew who Jesus was because an angel had come to him in a dream and spoke to him about who Jesus was and that he would be the Son of God. And so on that trip to Bethlehem, as they were preparing for the Son of God to come into the world and be born, it was probably a difficult time for Mary and Joseph as far as the practicality of it and the extreme difficulty that would put on her making the trip. But I imagine there was an expectancy in the moment when they found the place where they were going to settle down for the night, and Mary began to go into labor, and all of the hopes and joys that were in this baby that was going to be born. As parents, many of us can remember the expectancy of our child being born and the moment that it was going to happen, and just there was so much excitement and so much happiness and so many emotions that you would go through. And for Mary and Joseph, the expectancy of that first Christmas night when Jesus was born, and they wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger. And then the expectancy of the shepherds in the field as the angels appeared to them and told them to go and find this baby, this Christ child who was born and laying in a manger, and just the sheer excitement of it. And so as we approach this Christmas season, I know that for many people, it can be a difficult time, especially if you've lost a loved one and you're facing your first Christmas without them, or you find yourself in a place where you don't have the resources you hoped you would have to be able to afford gifts for the family and all of that. I get that. It's sometimes there can be moments of depression that even come in during Christmas, but this Christmas season, I want you to just take some time. Forget about the commercialism of it. Forget about buying things for people, and maybe even forget about all of the Christmas decorations and whether all the lights on the tree are working or not. In the end, all of that stuff doesn't really matter. Let the expectancy of what Christmas is really all about fill your heart this morning, because a Savior was born. And as we celebrate Christmas, we do so realizing that had Jesus never come into the world, we would never have the salvation and the redemption, the hope of eternity that we have. And so I'm approaching this Christmas Day a little bit differently this year, and I'm approaching it with an expectancy that Jesus Christ has come into the world. He is the hope of the world. You may, during this Christmas season, feel a little bit hopeless just because of situations in your life, but approach it with an expectancy that Jesus is my hope. Jesus is my joy. Jesus is my salvation. He came into this world to bring deliverance. He was delivered into this world to bring you deliverance. So no matter what you're going through this Christmas season, find your hope, find your joy in the expectancy and the excitement that Jesus has come. He was birthed into this world. And in that moment, salvation had come to the world. I love you today. Let your heart and your mind be focused on Jesus today and this week. Take care of yourselves. God bless.